Let's talk a minute about finding rocks for flint knapping. If you're in an area where you're lucky enough to go out and search for your own rocks anyway, if not, this video won't really pertain to you too much. And I still suggest to anybody that's wanting to get into flint knapping, it's a good idea to at least buy a few rocks from a reputable person, just so you kind of know what a good rock is going to be like. You know, it'll just help you know what to look for later on and help you understand what it is that, how flint knapping should, how the rock should behave. But anyway, this is just for if you're actually out there looking for your own, how would you know what a good rock is for flint knapping? You need something, and the rock around here that we have isn't huge. We have a lot of gravel-like material, something like this. And this isn't just ideal. I mean, it's clunky. This is what we have. A rock, something like this. Sometimes these smaller rocks actually have better material in it. You're just not going to get a huge point out of that, unfortunately. But what I'll do is I give me a piece of, this is like sandstone, kind of grainy. And I'll find a rock, something like this here. And I'll look for these little spots, like right here where it's kind of thin. Got a little bit of a taper to it, a little thin edge there. And I can hit that. And I'm going to hit it pretty well down. I'm not really trying to drive off a big flake or nothing. I just want to break it and see what the inside of this rock is going to look like. Now, as you can see there, it didn't break the cleanest in the world. It's got some little, almost like a crack hidden in there. I can see some spots there. It kind of looks like little quartzy and stuff. I would probably not worry too much about trying to save this. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily just be a great rock, and it's not really big enough to make too much out of it. This rock here, again, we're going to look around until we can find a spot, maybe a little slope right here. Maybe I can just catch that edge and drive a little bit of it off. And again, I'm just hitting down. I'm hitting in a smidgen, but mostly down. And just trying to drive off a kind of a short flake on there. That one, not good. It's just all crumbly and everything in there, too much internal damage. So, not a great rock. Nice little disc rock here, we'll try it. Again, just looking for a nice spot somewhere on an edge where I can catch it in there. Very difficult. Oh, that rock right there probably ain't great. If it's that hard to try to break into it, it's just going to be very difficult to work. A lot of this stuff around here I have to heat treat anyway. And I'm just not going to waste too much time on that. This rock here, it is lumpy, but at the same time, it's got some good platforms on it. It would probably, well, it'd be a good rock to at least practice on. And, the better you get at it, the more you can do with a rock like that. But we'll just find us a little spot, maybe right here, where I can hit down on that little platform there. See what kind of material we got in there. Good looking material, but the rock was damaged, had a crack in it, so yeah. That one's out the door. This rock here is Very clunky rock. Not exactly what I'd recommend starting on, but we'll see what kind of material's in it. And not good. It definitely broke. You can see real grainy looking, real uneven breaking. It's not smooth. It had a crack in it there. You can see the rust colorations in it. So most of these rocks so far have not been great. I'll have to gather up a few more and see if I can find us one. All right, I got me another little pile of rocks right here. I actually kind of already broke into this one, but yeah, you can kind of see there maybe. It's real smooth. A really nice smooth break to it. No real chattering or cracking. So this would be a rock that I would hang on to this one. It kind of odd shape, but it's got good material in it, good potential. You really won't know until you start working it how good the rock is, but you know, it's been the best one I've found so far. Tried to kind of maintain some flatter rocks because, you know, if you start out with a clunky rock, it's just harder. The flatter the rock is to begin with, obviously, the easier it's going to be to thin it out. So I'm trying to kind of maintain some flat ones here, but we'll just see how this one goes. Got me a little lip right here. I'm going to try that. Not great. Try another spot. Good fracturing, but real grainy. Quartzite, basically, or real quartzy in there. So, not what I would be looking for to start out on. Little rock here. Try it out. Just going to try to catch right here and maybe just break that end off. Alright, so see, good one hit, good clean break. Real clean, smooth, glassy appearance there. No chattering or stepping out. So that would be a rock for the bucket. Some of these rocks, again, will have to be heat treated in the end, just because this raw chert around here is very tough. That's just the nature of the beast. That one's more like just sandstone, real powdery and dry. Not a good rock to mess with. This one, you can tell by looking at it how waxy it is. It's probably if it's not like chalcedony or something, it's still a very fine grained quartz rock. Even has a little quartz right there, kind of shining. Pretty little rock. I'm gonna try right here, simply because of this lump here. If I can knock a spot off right here, that would be beneficial if it's a good rock. Alright, well, we'll try a different spot. Maybe we'll go to this corner up here and try that. Alright, well, kind of broke. It had a crack or something. It broke in half. Kind of, you know, rough looking break, and that could have been from the crack. You can see some stuff there, kind of what I call an agate line, but kind of a quartz vein in there. Got a few little bitty layers like the agates would have. So you might could do something with that rock, but as a beginner, I would go ahead and pass on that one. Little flat rock here. Alright, that one broke pretty good. Nice clean break. Got kind of a thicker cortex. This rock here doesn't have much of a cortex on it, but this one has a little bit thicker piece of it, which doesn't mean too much, but not the greatest rock in the world. It's got a little bit of, a little roughness to it. But I would keep this one. It'd be a good one to work with and just put in the bucket. This rock here, you can kind of see right away. It's just kind of like quartzite, but just to kind of show people. Take a little smack right here and knock this end off. It broke pretty clean. You could save it and try it. I think it would be difficult to work. Heat treating might help it out, but it might, I don't know. It's not a pretty rock. You could work it. I wouldn't be mad at myself if it didn't work out. We'll hang on to it. As a general rule in flint knapping, a boring rock is actually a better rock. The pretty rocks with all the, something like the Flint Ridge and stuff, a little bit, it's an exception. But as far as like for me out here, the stuff that I find that's got a lot of banding in it or a lot of color and this and that and everything, those typically aren't as uniform inside as what just a plain Jane dull rock would be. So sometimes trying to find a pretty rock isn't necessarily the best rock for flint knapping. Here's a kind of a clunky one. Got a good little point right there. I can get into it. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, a little dry feeling, but it did break good. I would hang on to that one. It would probably do better with some heat treating. It is pretty clunky, but I think someone with some experience, you can thin it out pretty easy. Sometimes your best hope is to find a big rock like this and maybe not actually work the whole rock down into a point. You're just trying to get a flake off of it that you can make into a point. So hopefully this one will have maybe some good material here or there to make something out of. I'm going to try to catch it right here on this spot and knock that off there. Sandstone's got a crack in it. I want that to, I should be wearing safety glasses, and I don't know where my glasses in the truck are at, so anyway. Got a crack right here. But again, maybe I can find a spot where I can get into a corner and just knock a good flake off. Or the whole rock, perhaps. That's pretty good material. Nice and smooth and glassy. I don't know that I would recommend this particular piece for someone starting out, but I think that I may probably go ahead and I'd keep that myself, just throw it in a box for, sometimes the challenge is fun. And the rest of the rock, is going to be about the same material, so we'll just kind of beat it up. It definitely has a lot of issues with it. Probably not going to get a really great big flake off of these. So not exactly the rock that I would be wanting to keep. Nice little potato looking rock here. Give it a try. Okay, now look at this. Real clean break, but look at the colors. I know what I just said, right? But isn't that pretty? Got a nice dark color in it, got some streaks in it and everything. You always got you gotta lick rocks if you're gonna be a rock hunter. That one right there, I would definitely keep. I mean, it's good, clean break. You can definitely tell no steps or chattering in it. And then also, man, them colors are just wild. If a person can make an arrowhead out of that, man, I would hang on to that arrowhead, make you a necklace out of it or something like that. Give it to somebody special on their birthday. This rock right here is not too bad. A little dry there. Definitely keepable. Not a bad size. It could be worked down easy enough. Might could use some heat treating. The way I treat these is the turkey roaster method. This chert around here, basically, it's Crowley's Ridge chert is what you would call it. It does good in a turkey roaster. Just put it in there, turn it on, let it dry out around 200 degrees or maybe just under 200 degrees for, you know, like 24 hours to get any moisture out of your rock. And then just slowly every 30 minutes, just crank it up like 1 notch until you're maxed out. And then let it sit in that roaster for 24 hours or so at that temperature. And then just shut it off, leave it alone, let it cool off inside that roaster. And that will improve a lot of the rocks. Like this here. Makes them easier to nap. Definitely not a good rock. Got a lot of iron in it, it looks like. Got some rusty looking colors to it. My sandstone taking a bit of a beating. I'm gonna try this piece of sandstone. Well, I don't know. You got to find the right stone. Hold on. All these rocks, and I can't find a dang rock anywhere. Well, maybe I'll hold on for one more. I got this big one here. Potato-y looking rock. A lot of these rocks, where they've been beat and banged around over the years, will have like little swirls, little divots and stuff. And that's just where all these little Hertzian cones have started. Little pecks on there. And sometimes that kind of stuff, will show you that it's a decent rock or give you an idea what kind of rock to look for. Give it a little hit right on this spot there. Alright, had a crack in there. You can see the rust coloration, but this here's a little dry, but it's typical of what's from around here. Broke pretty good. So this might be one that you could knock a few chunks off of. Little chunks like that. There does appear to be a crack in it, but play around with it, learn with it. For some reason, it seems like around here, a lot of times, the bigger the rocks, the more internal damage they'll have. So yeah, this is one I would hang on to it. Beat a few flakes off of it, heat treat them maybe. Go with it. As a word of warning, doing this, you really need to have your hand supported down here on something. And you're trying to beat these big hard rocks and stuff, because if you're holding it out here like you're walking along the gravel road there, picking up a rock and hitting it, and picking up a rock and hitting it, that jarring will it'll do some damage on that shoulder. You'll start feeling it. So if you can collect a few of them and just find your spot to sit down and brace that against your leg and do it, you'll be better off. So anyway, I hope this helps you with looking for rocks, kind of knowing what you're looking for. If you have any questions, you could always reach out to me on Messenger or something, and I'll try to help you out. Or one of the other fine flint napping channels out there. So, thanks for hanging out with me for a little while, and we'll see y'all around.